Hello.
Hi.
Hey, ladies. Happy
up?
Thursday.
Hello.
Thursday.
How
Woohoo.
are we doing, ladies? Hard day at work?
Always. How about
Yes.
you?
That's what I do best, get paid for the hard work that I do or so-called do.
Yeah.
Culture Friday. So we get to wean off some of the check marks, but it is what it is.
Yes.
I'm blessed to be in a job setting and still working. So appreciate the labor that I do. So
Right.
Yeah,
But don't you hate
definitely.
it when like something's off like in the beginning of the day and then everything's off the whole day?
Yes.
That's how I felt today.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
hopefully you
bad
feel better
energy.
now.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So,
I think I'm good now.
Oh,
I
good.
have
well,
some
don't
guys
pass
now.
that juju over here
No,
because we
no,
need
no,
to be
no.
flowing. We need to have so whatever needs to be brought in. Where's Big J? Bring her a drink. She needs something.
Called him out. Wow.
Yes.
Right?
Bring your lady something.
I think that's a test, Jay, for sure.
Yes. Shout out to our viewers, Buddy Lee, DJ
Oh,
Cram,
no.
Abby.
What's up?
And I think one of my twins is on there.
Oh,
Zanae.
Oh, Zanae's on.
hi.
I
Zanae.
see
Zen
her.
XP.
Is that
How
you,
are you?
Zanae? Shh.
Ladies of Sound, Booze Jam,
What's up?
Macy,
Ladies
Mac,
of Sound. And we
Ladies
have
of Sound.
Thank you.
the first lady of Lady of Sound coming up. That's amazing.
Representing.
Very cool.
Shortly.
And then there's Mac Yeezy Padilla. What's up?
What's up?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate you spending some time with us, some quality
there's-
time. We definitely
there's-
love that.
Babu. What's up, Babu?
Ooh,
We're going to see him in a
what's up?
second.
What's up, Babu?
Yes.
This is
Shout-
exciting. I can't
Stay
wait.
tuned, everybody.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So today is one of those, I like to always bring about something. Today, about music, the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin, first released her, one of her popular songs, Respect. I know all of you guys heard of that.
Oh.
RESPECT.
Yes.
Found out what it means to me. Go back.
Oh,
Junkie.
yeah.
Oh my
It's in my head. It's in my head. I'm a bad singer, but I can dance.
Just a little bit. I just love that jam, and today for being like her release
cool.
day, 1967, I believe.
Yeah.
So I say we give some love to that because that's totally
Yes.
respect. So
Yes,
Love
respect
her.
to the queen, for sure.
Exactly.
I'm going to play her song for sure on replay today and the whole week.
And then
yes,
dance for Mark.
Yes. Oh man, that guy.
show him some moves, babe. Show him some moves.
And we want to see Mark
show him
dance.
moves, all right. No. Yeah, he won't dance. He's probably just gonna. He's very observant. And
You know
then
what?
he
I've
just
never
likes to
seen
see the
him
crowd.
dance. I really
No?
want to.
Not
really
even
see-
sway side to side.
The only what. Right.
You know, some guys
He
would
can. If he's with his boys, I can see the shoulders, do the lean back. So I'm like, okay. The
Just be
only
careful
time
not
he'll
to break your leg.
dance is when we're at a wedding.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Oh, he wasn't even there. He was my driver. He's my Uber. Like it was the wine night that we went to. No, I'm just kidding. I love your husband. Running Man. He said he can do the Running Man all day.
Okay, I want to see that happen. International Dance Day. It's today, so let's get some moves so we can post them.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
Spanish songs for sure. He's gonna dance. I can see him like
No
Oh,
way.
that's
Really?
right.
Okay.
Spanish, and then like he would start singing it. I was like, okay, sing to me, boy.
'Cause he's the one who flirts, right? With the Spanish waitresses or Spanish-speaking
Yes.
waitresses.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm like, oh well. I
Really?
mean,
All right.
Go, Mark.
it's fine. I'm so nice, I just watch him. I'm like, okay.
Well, he's trying to compete with Drake, right? So
Yeah, pretty much. But he said he always says he's the Filipino Drake. So I'm like, all right.
Oh, really?
He's funny.
Wow.
But anyway,
Ladies of Sound asked if we'll ever catch D-Styles dancing in honor of National Dance Day. I should mention he was voted best dancer in 6th grade But he
Aw,
doesn't
so
dance.
cute.
He
What?
doesn't dance now, though. Good luck catching him.
Yeah.
Probably the moves he does in 6th grade is what he does now because unless he moved even like what did he do in 6th grade? Did he like
I think
break
it was
dance
break
like you?
dancing.
Ah,
He was break
you
dancing.
Wow,
you
very
still we
cool.
still need to see Bev in action.
Ha!
Stopped.
Both of you guys get you really drunk and then put the cardboard on the floor.
Yeah,
And get some
right.
No,
hoodies. We're gonna put
you
some
already
hoodies
know.
and then
When he
let's
gets
go.
when he gets drunk, he just breaks glass and talks a lot. So
Oh,
And
like
he's a
the
really
other
good
time.
host. A really good host.
He's
Yeah.
a chill
Yes, he
drunk.
is.
I like that. He's like he's so relaxed.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was that drunk. I thought he was just.
He was so relaxed.
yeah, he was
I wouldn't
so
even. He'd be
Yeah.
flying by those DUI, no DUIs for him, because he'd be like, officer, like I'm just driving, and you know,
Oh no, you don't want that. You don't want that. No. Yeah.
no,
he can probably
Yeah.
get away with it. That's what I'm saying. He can
Right.
probably get away with it.
he's responsible. He wouldn't get behind the wheel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, Buddy Lee, I'll take those knee braces.
Nice.
Just kidding. All right. So,
So
do
what we
have
got
up?
going on with our sweets of the day?
We
Yes.
have from Cafe 86. It's ube truffle and ube crack
Ooh,
cheesecake.
yummy.
Let's show some love to the
Yummy.
viewers.
Ooh.
This is what we're
that.
having, guys. Oops, sorry.
Oops.
Let me bring my.
They both smell
See,
good.
I always like to take it out of the box because I like to
Yes.
showcase.
Like,
This is what, Bev?
That one is the ube truffle.
Ooh.
so what is
That's
this one?
really
The,
good.
Look
And
at
that's
that.
the ube crack cheesecake.
Yummy.
So good.
I don't
Oh
even
my
know
gosh.
what to try. So are we
Damn.
trying this?
Just-
I want to try this
Yeah.
one first.
Oh, wow. Look at the purple in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Viewers, this is good.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's very good. It melts in my mouth.
I know. So
Mm.
good.
It's not even sweet. And it's really moist. Now let's go for this one. So
You're
what's
really
on top?
tempting both. I don't know.
Alrighty, we'll
Very
have to
good.
have Cafe 86 rep to come up and showcase what's
It's like a
all
crumble.
these.
Yeah.
So-
It's a crumble, huh?
So good.
How do you eat this one?
Fast.
Look at this. The layers. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It is like melting your mouth.
And see the
That
layers.
cream cheese is good.
Mm.
So that is cream cheese on top.
Yum.
Tastes like a, cheesecake.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a cheesecake. Yeah.
Crack cheesecake.
Who's saying in the
Duh.
background?
Duh, you did say
That's
that. I
Hector.
was just amazed.
Oh.
by-
Is that Hector?
He came by to sample his.
I know Hector's voice.
In the background.
I'm like,
Sounds in the background.
Hector's enjoying it.
He's like, every time you guys gotta
Yummy.
show some love, I'm like, sorry, this is
So they're
Yeah.
located here.
5697
Where
South Jones
Jones?
Boulevard in Vegas.
Yummy.
Oh, nice.
Another one of the many restaurants in Vegas. Really,
There's
really
so
good.
many spots, and now that Vegas is basically like up and running, just much more quicker than we expected. Well, as you know, as progressed as it has been, we get to basically see so many interesting, good feeds now. I think they are even better now. I think they want to just get out there and get their people to come and visit their restaurants, taste their treats, and just basically show some love. So we are definitely the ones. Bring all your treats to us. We will demonstrate them, eat them, showcase them, advertise them, everything.
Yes.
We'll even
It's really
visit your
good.
Love
spot. So I put my plug out there.
Yes, it looks
It's
so
We
really
welcome food. We welcome food.
You're welcome.
all the time.
We welcome
Really,
sweet.
really good.
That was good. Mm.
Thank you for picking them up, Dave. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so
And for all
much.
the husbands for coordinating the pickup. So as always, they're very
Always.
supportive.
Very.
We have a
thank
good
you.
team.
Yes.
We'll
Mhm.
definitely visit the restaurant or the cafe. It's
Yeah,
so
I want to
good.
try more of her desserts.
Yeah.
She's got more than just those two, but
Oh yes.
those are
And
really
they have
good.
good.
Maybe we'll,
They have good drinks too.
yes,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
Maybe
like
we'll
really
even
Coffee or
fancy drinks.
like what kind of drinks?
all
Coffee,
kinds.
tea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do
This
that
Very
is
next
cool.
time,
yeah.
and maybe we'll have her on.
We should.
I
We
saw her.
should.
Yeah, she was on Chopped Sweets
No way.
cooking. Yeah,
Oh,
desserts. So she's really talented.
Very
I've
cool.
What
seen her.
episode? I have to check out that episode. That's one of my
I'm
favorite
not
shows.
sure. But it's the sweets one. You know, they
Yes,
usually they
I
have
know.
like, appetizer and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But this one was
Yes.
That's awesome.
dedicated to
Just to sweets.
Mhm.
I've seen
I
that.
think that's what it's. I hope I don't get it wrong, but yeah. So
I need
So
to
next-
watch that.
Yeah, you do. So you can get some cookie.
Yeah.
Where are we at today? We're
Sure.
what episode are we, ladies? Episode 14.
14. Episode
Yeah.
14.
Yes.
Yeah.
oh my
Any
goodness.
new viewers out there? We welcome you. And for
Yeah.
returning viewers, we appreciate you. Keep hanging in there with us because definitely this is a fun show that we want everybody just to have a good time, comment, chat with us, and just have good times. So every Thursday. I want to introduce myself in case maybe there's new faces, new viewers. I am Tanya, wife of CO1.
I'm Junkie, wife of Big J.
I'm Vicky, wife of DJ Cram.
And I'm Bev, wife of D Styles. Welcome everyone.
Welcome. We are missing
Welcome.
one fabulous wife. She is busy tonight. So on her behalf, we are here to represent her. Crystal, wife of Josh Bliss.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good one, Tanya. I'm sure Josh will appreciate the way you just said that.
Maybe
Very
it should have been
sexy.
you, Bev, because you have that
Oh,
voice. We
stop
know
it.
that, ladies.
Okay,
Yes,
Why-
definitely.
moving on.
Yes. So with regards to next week's episode, Thursday, where it's, obviously we're mothers. All of us are mothers. So we're all going to be here with you all next Thursday. Tune in, and it's going to be a special edition with us, yours truly.
A Mother's Day special.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
So stay tuned, everybody. You guys better show face because you know what? You never disappoint your mother, right? So
Oh, right?
we know who you
disappoint.
are. So I don't know about y'all because if you do, it's not going to be fun.
Yes.
You tell him, Tanya. Jeez.
Gotta
Support us mothers.
Yes.
just trying to show some love, get some love back in return. That's all.
Yes. That would be nice.
So we
All right,
have the
Vic.
trivia question. Da 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 da.
So the trivia question is, which one of the DJs worked at a bank and got robbed during her first week after training? Who
What?
knows the answer?
I don't even know that. I don't think I glanced at that. This is cool. This is a good question.
This is a
It's
good question. Very good question. Anybody
Yes.
in
Everybody
the
channel in, but we will not.
chat know the answer?
We will
Who do you
not
think
say the
worked at a
answer
bank
till the end of
and
the
got
chat.
robbed?
That is kind of sad.
I know.
I wonder.
We gotta
what-
ask if they continue work. What we happen. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
see.
find
We'll
out.
leave it as that. How about
Yes.
that?
Yes. Somebody
Yeah,
got to
there we
answer
go.
it. Anybody?
And we will announce also the gift card of $10 at the end. So please stay tuned. So whoever's the lucky winner, we will announce you at the end of the podcast.
Mhm.
Yes. So, any guesses? Abby is saying. Missy Mel's, hi ladies. She said, "What's up?"
Hi, baby.
Hey.
Hello.
Buddy
Buddy
So after
Lee.
check- Buddy Lee.
But he said, "I can roll one out." Okay. Who?
Duh. No, because we're like 5 of us, so we're gonna throw in whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you see us here or we're not here. We're not trying to just single nobody out. We're involving everybody. So you take a good guess. Maybe that's the reason why she's not here.
Take a
Hint, hint.
guess.
Not just kidding.
No.
Well, anyway, moving on. We have a very special guest that I'm excited
Absolutely.
about. She's the principal of the Beat Junkie Institute of Sound and also the creator of Ladies of Sound, Maricel Sison. Hey,
Hi,
Maricel.
Hey,
Maricel.
Hi,
Maricel.
Marcel.
Hi.
Hey, ladies.
Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
How are
Everybody
you?
say hi. Show her some love.
Yes. What's up?
What's up?
For
Where
having
are
me,
you?
guys. I am at the new Ladies of Sound headquarters over in the Arts District in downtown.
Nice.
Cool.
That looks really awesome.
Exciting. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Definitely go into
Thank
detail
you
with
for
that.
Yes, thank you for being here. So, I'm sure most people would know that I know you, obviously, but I do want to ask you because I met you while I was living in LA, and you were living there too. Did you grow up there? Were you born there?
Well, I was born in LA, but I grew up in the suburbs. So I grew up in Diamond Bar,
Ah,
California. Yeah, so that's like literally like 20 minutes outside of downtown. But
isn't that
yeah,
where Snoop Dogg was from?
yes, he actually does
Nice.
live, but he
Really?
lives
Diamond
like
Bar?
That's
yeah,
Junkie's favorite.
Yeah.
He
He's
He
is.
lives
I
up
love
in
him.
the, you know, the mansions
I
up
do
in
The
the
too.
nice,
hills and
nice.
stuff.
Where
up
does he
there.
live again? What's his address?
But his,
Okay, she wants
you
to
know,
stalk him.
I want to go there. I want to go too with you, Junkie.
yeah, but
Let's talk.
the place that he lives at, it's called the Country over in Diamond Bar. It's gated, so you know, all the doctors and
Mm,
the lawyers are over there.
of
With Snoop Dogg
course.
as a neighbor, so
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure he wants a certain kind of doctor. So
Right?
that'd be
That's
cool.
what I was saying.
Oh, okay. So, anyway, I did mention that you are the principal of the Beat Junkie School. And obviously, running that school, you have to wear a lot of hats and deal with a lot of different things. Can you give us a glimpse into your typical day at the
yeah.
school?
I mean, what don't I do except teach and DJ? No, I mean, honestly, it was, I didn't plan on working there. I was previously a full-time photographer, and, you know, I was just brought there to take pictures of the school, you know, and kind of put the website together. And I started asking questions like, okay, so how are we going to accept payment? How are people going to sign up for classes? And, you know, then I just started getting these like deer in the headlights looks like, oh shoot, I don't know, let's figure that out. And you know, D Styles was part of helping, you know, finding what software we needed to use with the school. And once that kind of started happening, I don't know how it happened, but it just got to a point where like I pretty much created a job for myself, I guess you could say.
Or
And
many jobs?
yeah, I mean, you know, for my first year student, so anybody that's been there for like, you know, who was there the first year, they saw me working in the front. You know, I talked to literally every single student that signed up for the school that very first year, did all the social media, did all the photos, did all the video. All the flyers, all the graphic design,
Wow.
everything, you know, everything that you can think of. I even took classes because I wanted to, you know, I was never interested in being a DJ. All my friends were DJs. Obviously, my man's a DJ, but I didn't feel like, you know, I need to understand the language and I needed to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. You know, so I did my homework and made sure that I knew exactly what we were doing, and
That's great.
realized, yeah, I, you know, putting myself through that, I realized a couple of things. I realized, wow, DJing is so hard.
Yes, that's for
And
sure.
yeah, and also, I don't like being up in front of a lot of people. So I was like, oh, this isn't for me. But also it kind of reinforced my passion for being behind the scenes and running operations and the business side of it. I really enjoyed that because I learned how to do it for myself when I was a photographer. And yeah, I mean, at the school, it's kind of like just thinking about all the things that need to happen and in its timeline and keeping all the communication open and just
Dang,
yeah.
I'm exhausted just hearing you
Yes.
talk.
We see why you wear that hat of being the principal. It's literally what you do. I mean,
And
honestly.
being, yeah, the woman organizing everything for them and helping them with that. That's amazing in itself. So
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm like the nagging woman in their lives. I'm like, hey guys, can you post that flyer already?
It's a love and hate relationship, but you know what? They appreciate you there. I'm very sure of it.
Yeah, I'm like their annoying little sister just in their ear all the time. But it's awesome.
But they love you.
Yeah, it's family. It's like a bunch of my brothers and
Yes.
we've all created something together, and I'm super proud of what we've been able to build. So
As you should be, for sure. What would you say is the biggest challenge in running the school?
I think the biggest challenge was just not having a blueprint. I did my R&D and tried to understand how other schools were operating, but it wasn't the way, like, our philosophy just was not the same. We had a whole different approach, because we wanted to make sure that everybody had a solid foundation. We didn't want to introduce, Serato or put everybody just on the computer right away or controllers. We wanted to stay true to Beat Junkies style, right? And really emphasize like, building better DJs, which is like our school motto, is something that we want to hold true. Stay true to the culture, stay true to the art form. And knowing that and talking to the junkies, I was like, oh man, how do we emulate that? So I didn't really, that was the biggest thing. Was I would literally spend anywhere up to half an hour to an hour on one phone call to sign up one student, and there's 12 slots. So you could only imagine how many conversations and phone
That's a
calls I had
long
to have.
It's
time.
almost repetitive sometimes that you're like, did I provide all of them, or did I just answer that on, and you're just like rambling. So like, I'm hoping I did grasp everything, because definitely you need those enrollments. So definitely, wow, that's like take a breather,
Yeah, it
But
was really
hey,
crazy too, because I would get people that would call and like I had to even understand, like, I would say, I'd give them a little assessment, like, do you understand where the one is? They're like, oh, I know how to scratch. I've been DJing for like 20 years and all of this kind of stuff, and
until they get to the school.
until they get to the school, then I'm like, oh, do you mind telling me like what scratches, and then that's where I would get like, it would get quiet. And I'm like, yes, they're like, oh, I know the baby scratch. I'm like, cool. Do you know how to do the transform? Do you know how to do a chirp? Do you know how to do, and it was just, then I would just get crickets or all that kind of stuff. So, and I was just like, just want to, and sometimes I would just deal, I would deal with a lot of male ego. And
yes, males.
and I would be like,
They have egos. What?
Yeah, I'd be like, how about you just come to school, take a free class, and let me know what you think. And then I would just watch them struggle in the class, and I'm just like, told you. So,
Yes.
it was I think that was the biggest thing. Just like, how do you even run a DJ school? How does everything work? And I had my nose in the books and watching YouTube and a lot of just like figuring it out. So
Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's
Well,
amazing.
that's a big compass that you cover. So definitely hope you get a little break, and they give you a little break. So just hopefully this is one of them where you can just get to talk to us and let us know and vent. We appreciate it. So I know you created Ladies of Sounds. You're the founder of Ladies of Sounds. Tell us a little bit about it, how it all came about, and elaborate on it. So many viewers that haven't heard or haven't known of Ladies of Sounds, we want to make sure that everybody just knows how it came about and how we can support it as well. So
yeah, so I initially thought, I was like, oh my gosh, literally aside like Bev coming to visit or any of the other wives, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be the only girl here. Just like at the club or like, I was taking photos and there would only be like a small teeny tiny handful of women backstage, and I'm like, it's gonna be the same thing. And I didn't know what to expect. And to my surprise and my joy, and something I really was so happy to see was so many women walk through the door and they were like, I'm down to learn. So a lot less ego, more curiosity.
Yes.
So many brave women came through our doors, especially when I was like, well, we're going to teach you how to scratch. We're going to teach you how to mix by ear. We're not trying to make you a turntablist, but we are trying to, refine your skills to where you don't have to look at the computer, and you just can feel and hear everything. Again, it just makes you a better DJ. You're working on your dexterity, you're working on all this. So
Nice.
and that, and on top of that, I did want to like ensure that, hey, these skills are going to shock everybody when you play out, because girls aren't really known to scratch, right? Girls aren't known
Mhm.
to just hang with the men. And so that's what I was so happy to see, that half of our student body at one point was women, and they were also the best in the class. What can I say?
What can I say? Hey, that's what I said.
Of course.
That's
Yeah, I love you
fabulous.
guys, but that's some real shit. I mean, you should see like
Yeah.
if the guys haven't seen, but a lot of our women just really really shine, practice. And I'm not saying that the guys don't, but I am saying there's a lot of hardworking girls out there at our school that really really shine during class, during their tests. Even our little young little ladies of sound, top of their class. So
Wow.
with all of that, I was really really inspired to create something for us. And though I'm not a DJ, I felt like, okay, I'm not gonna DJ, but I am a lady of sound, right? And that could be, you could be a DJ, you could be in the industry, married to a DJ, your brother's a DJ, your cousin's a DJ. You've just, you're a music lover in general. So, ladies of sound is not just for DJs; it is for any of those women that fall under that category and just lover of music. So,
Aw.
we were throwing all of these events at the school, and all of the guests were guys. And I did also have women ask, like, are there any women that are teaching and things like that. So I was so like just inspired of seeing all of our women work so hard and be at the top of their class, that I again wanted to create something for them, because we didn't really have that kind of stuff. Bev, it's like we see each other backstage, and like it was just it. And
Mhm.
need of stragglers and stuff like that, but it's literally and so I wanted to do something like that for the ladies and give them
You wanted to give it like
highlight some really incredible DJs that where their skills spoke more than their looks, right? It's like
Yes.
we can be badass DJs too. So that was kind of
Absolutely.
how it started. And I threw my first event. So we opened in 2017, and in December of 2018, we were throwing before pre-pandemic, we were like 50 events a year. That's including graduations and
Wow.
live
Wow.
Q&As and so many other events if there was somebody in town. And so again, they were all men, and I just wanted to do something where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do this like really dope panel, get all these like incredible women from all different parts of the industry, and put them in under one roof. And also wanting to give the girls at my school a goal to shoot for, or see that it is possible to be successful as a DJ, so that was the goal there. And I was lucky enough to, at that time, I was doing a lot of stuff by myself, but Sammy G came to the fold. Shout out to Sammy G. She is the Ladies of Sound co-founder. She helped me throw that
Wow.
event. Her strengths are, her strength lays in events. So when we were able to do this, it was like, all right, let's go. And we threw a really amazing event. And off the high of that success, Ladies of Sound was born. And so
Oh,
Wow,
That's awesome.
amazing.
That is an amazing story. Yeah.
You have a lot of support of like I've seen the Instagram and I just love the way like just like you said, it doesn't have to be that you have to be a DJ, but you surround yourself around music and like everything music I think just links everybody. It's like
Yes.
there's just a big outlet, but at the same time when you guys come together and it's just great support and building community obviously amongst women. I love that. So great job on creating that. And I love the name Ladies of Sound. It's just like it just gives it that nice touch. So
Yeah.
are you going to have more events in your new space, Maricel? Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. So
Nice.
you know, as you can see, there's like pardon the mess, but there's just a lot of like production equipment around me. That's kind of where my strength is, and I love doing production. And right now we're virtual because of the pandemic, but the goal is to get women in here and also some of our guys, and just have the community in here and have another place to whether they want to stream, do a podcast, or we can do some educational events, or have the guys have a second place to stream or podcast, other than just the school. So I'm really excited to again, I'm just starting to talk about it.
Aw.
We didn't
we
plan
appreciate it.
yeah, we didn't plan on having something like this. Sammy's been like, come on, I want a space, we need to get a space, and I was just like, oh, I don't know. But here it is. It kind of just happened, and
Oh,
super excited.
congratulations.
It looks really
That's
good.
cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wow, you can do definitely a lot of events, a lot of different like see the green room behind. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's an opportunity for a lot of great events or just to showcase anything that you guys want to basically promote for Ladies of Sounds and just for overall, anybody in the community. That's great. And that's where is that located? Or if we can say
So
that.
yeah, I mean, we're luckily, it's super safe in here. But yeah, we're enclosed inside of the container yard. This used to be the old Montana Cans shop over in the Arts District. So one of my favorite Kobe murals, which is on 4th and
Wow.
Alameda. We're
Okay.
literally like right here. I can walk to Little Tokyo.
Nice.
I'm like right by the main part of the Arts District where everybody goes, like Angel City Brewery. It's all within walking distance, and this is a place where I had been going for a long time because I happen to know the people that own the space. So shout out to Pop and Ash, and they helped make this happen for us. But I spent a lot of time here. I actually threw a Beat Junkie event, their second Container Yard second year anniversary with the guys, and that was I don't even remember when, but it was a while ago. And so to be back here, it's pretty awesome. It's kind of like come full circle.
That's
That's
nice.
great. So I know you mentioned or you touched on photography. Is that what you initially was like your inspiration behind when you were behind the scenes and now where you have the role of being the principal? But I mean, I know you have quite a few photos that I've seen also on your Instagram. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm not a nurse. I'm Filipino.
The
And
typical.
I'm not a nurse. I'm not an engineer. Sorry, mom and dad. But I did, I was trying to be the good daughter, and I fell into the banking industry, and I just had so many people like tell me like, it seemed like you belong here, and just, whatever. And I would go party at night, and then, go to my day job, and there came a point where I accumulated a camera, and I would just take it everywhere with me. And when I was partying a lot, and I would just take it with me, take pictures of people, and just the more I did it, then people saw my work, and at that time there weren't really like event photographers in that capacity, right? I got a lot of my gigs through word of mouth, and people kind of just saying, oh, I work with Maricel and that kind of thing. So I'm self-taught,
Yes.
like many other things in my life. And I actually had a nice 10-year stint as a photographer, and I learned a lot about myself and about just being in the industry and about business, because again, I was just by myself, this pre-Instagram days, right? So yeah, it's kind of how I got my feet wet in this industry in terms of music, because obviously, I mean, I love music, and I was always gravitating towards that. So I love live events. I would go work at my day job and come home at like 3 a.m. and wake up and go do it again, and just loving it, love being around my friends, and just again enjoying the music at night. And it kind of just morphed itself into a career, because I had some really just high profile clients that constantly contacted me, and then I let go of the day job, and and then yeah, that I kind of was
That's
able to
awesome.
make my
You
way there.
have some of the most beautiful photos, and like we have some of them.
Oh,
That
yes, that is
Oh,
so
thanks.
beautiful.
Really?
and
That's
What kind
some
of
talent.
this
Wow.
one's one of my favorites because it's just
Yeah,
so
the candid
Wow.
photos.
What
I
kind of
love that
camera do
one.
you use,
Wow.
Maricel?
Oh man, so I used to have, man, you guys, I was really bad with my cameras in terms of like just
Taking care of them,
accumulation.
or just many of
Yeah,
them.
well, that, yes, I was bad at taking care of them, which Babs used to always be like, "You're gonna take care of your expensive ass cameras," and I'm like,
Yeah, they're
"Yes,
expensive. Yeah.
absolutely." Yeah, so I have like, honestly, because I haven't done it in a while, and I feel so bad, but I have Canons. I have like literally like
Don't feel
Mark.
bad. You're doing what you do now, and that's in
Yeah.
itself like definitely.
Nice.
I know. I'm so tempted to buy a new camera, just
Oh,
because.
you-
look the young buck.
Are you holding a
How
camera
cute.
in that picture?
Yeah, that's what everyone's like. I used to always see you holding a camera, and
That's
Yes.
awesome,
that's
though.
when me and Babs were just friends. I was taking photos at that event.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So were you like in
fun.
most of the events then? Like,
Yeah, I was doing a lot of
wow.
nightlife. So
Mhm.
Nice.
yeah,
Oh.
I was in the nightlife scene pretty heavy, but I did everything under the sun. So I figured out what I liked and what I didn't like. Yeah, so it's kind of how I roll. I'm just like, let me just try it. Okay, it didn't work,
Oh.
and then I move on.
Do you do it as a hobby now? Now that you have like you're committed to like 100% with what your role is,
You know,
or
I have
just no
to say,
time? It's like
yeah, I've
probably when you
started.
go on trips, probably. And well,
Yeah,
now
probably.
obviously that's been a halt on that. But when you do, I'm sure you take advantage and be like taking every scenery shot, and you probably have a good eye for everything. So
I mean, I really do miss it. It was my creative outlet. I in some way wanted to be creative and express myself. So photography was the way to do it. But also too, my equipment's pretty heavy, and actually, I did have an injury where like my arm was just, it was not. My camera weighed anywhere, depending on the lens, it just weighed
yes,
more
Oh,
than five
wow.
pounds. And if you're holding it for like, I'd have gigs where I was on my feet shooting at like festivals for like, oh man, I think one gig I had like a 16-hour day.
Wow.
whoa,
And I had, not only did I have my lens and my heavy lens and my camera on me, I also was carrying other lenses in my backpack and my hard drive and my laptop with me. And, it was physically strenuous. And then I moved on to mirrorless. So I love like Fuji X families. So those are really,
Oh,
really great
nice.
cameras. But nowadays, I just stick to my good old iPhone 12.
iPhone, yeah.
I know, right?
They take good pictures.
Very portable,
True.
very portable, right? They do
I
the
need to
trick.
upgrade.
So
That's
Marisol,
awesome.
can we ask who's your significant other for those who don't know, and how long has he been DJing?
Oh, so it's so funny. The funny story about that is like, because I worked so hard as a photographer to make a name for myself, like we kept our relationship on the low for a very, very long time. Because I just wanted to earn my respect for what I do and not who
Aw.
I was with. So, but a lot of the students, like the first year, didn't know that we were together. And when they finally found my Instagram and like looked through it, they're like, "Oh my God, you're with Babu!" And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, him." So
How
that's my
funny.
significant other, DJ
Oh,
Babu.
it's
The fact
cute.
that you guys can work
Aw.
together and like are 100% like supporting each other, that's really good. It's tough to work with your significant other And
Right.
because through business, you go through a lot of little stresses and, trials and tribulations of growing and making it work. But you guys seem to do it very flawless, very nice.
Ooh.
Did,
Mm.
did
Y'all
you have any?
see us
Well,
in the
is that
car
what
on
we
the way
see?
to work, though. We have a pretty hefty drive, and sometimes I'm just like, but no, it's not easy, especially when you have two people that are, you have two people that have strong personalities and are very strong-willed. So it's been hard, but I don't know. We've been able to just let it to work the way that it has. So he's very supportive. I'm very supportive. And I think that that's a big factor in what we do, that at the end of the day, we just have each other's back, even if we disagree or, we both want our way.
Yes.
But, that was also something that, I mean, he's probably gonna kill me for saying this, but he did not want me working at the school. Let me just tell you, because he didn't want drama if there was gonna be any. And he just like, with all the junkies, he's like, oh, I don't want that kind of stuff, like, happening if we're fighting and da da da. And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to
I
fight
can
for
handle it.
nobody. Yeah, I'm like, we will talk when we get home. So yeah, it's been a blessing to work with him, especially because before the school, he was always on the road. I didn't spend any birthdays with him, no summers, no spring breaks. He'd be gone like so much when we first got together. And when he got to when the school happened, that was like the first time we had spent that much time together. So yeah, you could only imagine what that was like. I was like, oh my God, like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but it was also nice because, again, I hadn't spent a birthday with him ever. I never saw, like, I always went and did my own thing. And, which I think is a very important part of being in that kind of relationship, right? Ladies, when you're
Yes.
with somebody that is in the public eye, or just out in the way that DJs are, you do need to make sure you have your own life and your own thing going on to kind of balance out their life and what they have going on. So,
How long was
Exactly.
he always on the road? Was it like months at a time? What was the most?
like all summer, like he would be gone,
Wow.
like June through the half of September.
No
Dang.
way.
So when you started dating, was there reservations? Like, did you, or you already understood?
I was,
that
I,
like,
we've been so we're like on our 9-year mark being together.
wow.
Congrats.
Yeah, so I was, but I like I said, I always had my own thing going on, so it didn't bother me. And we would keep in touch. He'd call me whenever he'd get the chance, but sometimes there would be stints to where tour life is not, it's not glamorous, and people were like, oh, why don't you go on tour with him? I was like, so I can just pack up and go and not enjoy Paris or not even that. So at first I was kind of like, oh, I have, are you okay? I haven't heard from you in like 4 days, so he's like, I didn't have internet, or we ended a show and we had to hit the road, and we were on the road in some rural part of Romania, and there's no reception, and so by the time he could get a hold of me, it was like days later. So
Wow.
he would try to email me, or that kind of thing, and it just we just had such a strong bond from the beginning that it, like I said, it didn't bother me, and I always went off and did my own things with all my my homies, and again, I had my photography career at the time, so I was just busy, and I think that again, being in that kind of relationship where he was gone, like I really appreciated what he did, because I saw how happy he made people, like what Dilated was doing just brought so much joy to people that I was just like, cool, this is who he is, and that's I just understood. I don't know how. It just kind, I like I said, I saw it. I saw what
Nice.
their music did for people, and how much he inspired everyone. So I kind of just understood that just is part of being with somebody like him.
So you said
awesome.
that you didn't travel with him. Did you Did you ever go on like some of the trips or anything?
Towards maybe like a few years after our relation, I actually have a funny story about that. So, and I think Chalk will appreciate this story. So,
Do tell,
um,
do tell.
yeah. So when we were first getting together, it was like remember the 20-year anniversary, the Beat Junkies 20-year anniversary,
Yes.
and I go to New York every year, and that was just kind of like something that I do. I would just go by myself and do my thing because I just love New York. And he was like, "Oh, you know, we're gonna go there. We're performing at the Brooklyn Bowl. Like, you should just meet us there. Like, la da 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 da." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And mind you, we're like still kind of young in our relationship, right? So we were like in the honeymoon stage. We're like excited and all that kind of stuff. But I did not know like this guy was just like being late to practice because of me while we were like being tourists and enjoying our new relationship.
Oh.
And you know, these guys are like, where is this guy, you know? And then when I found out, I was like, hey dude, I don't want to be the reason why you ain't going to practice. If you want to go to practice, your ass needs to go to practice, because I don't want nobody blaming me for you like being late. Like, and you know, he was like, oh no, that's on me, it's on me. And I'm like, well, it looks like it's on me. So
That's
you
right.
know, yeah,
When you both show up there, be like, that's the girl.
Side eye to the girl.
for
Yeah.
sure, for
She
sure.
caused all this.
Yeah, but you know, I hope they made up for it when they had dope ass pictures at the end of the day.
Yes, right.
You know, but they were all very gracious to me. But you know, it was just kind of funny for them to see him like, you know, just be in this new relationship. So, but again, I had no idea he was like doing that, and I'm like, dude,
Oh,
do that to me.
Wanting to take time with you.
that's
So
love.
yes.
That's
So what do you love about Babu?
Oh, so many things. But if there's one thing that I can say, you know, he is up to this day, and all my students know this. He is one of the funniest people I've ever met.
He is.
He'd be
He
cracking
is.
jokes like during
Nice.
class, and sometimes I'm like, "Oh my god, you're on the fence with that one." Like, "Ooh, you gotta be careful." But yeah, I mean, I think that was like one of the telling things is he just always made me laugh, and he still does, and we've been together for so long. So and I just love that he makes everybody else laugh, and that's, you know, one of the things I love about him, on top of him being an incredible father, incredible son, and he's so good to me. And so, and also that we just vibe on music. I don't DJ, but like we can just get really like
Deep.
nerdy about, yeah, like music in like ways that I've never had with anybody else.
Oh,
You know, and there's one point where he was like doing, you know, his photography also. So we also were like, oh, let's just go here and just get lost and take photos. So that was also a great part of our relationship. So
that's
creatively,
funny.
Very
yeah,
cool.
we
Cool.
connect a lot.
That's where I thought you guys connected because of the whole, you know, Instagram and Instababs and all that. So I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
cute. You have a
yeah.
hashtag,
I
a
used to always
customized
get,
hashtag.
yeah, I used to always get mad at him because
Oh,
I love pictures where like, you know, he, you know, obviously I'm like his muse, so I'm like, make me like this small, you know. I wanna be, and he likes getting like this close to my
Dave too.
Close
He
up.
does that.
oh, portrait mode, portrait mode. I'm like, no, I want the wide mode. Like, come on.
I'm always like,
awesome.
back up.
He's like a paparazzi right there. Be like, get this
Yeah,
shot,
oh
girl.
my gosh. He gets all butthurt. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I just want to take a picture of you." I'm like, yeah, but it's like hella close to my face. Like,
You're like, I'm breathing and the lens already's foggy. Like, boy, back up. I'll pose for you. Just give me my distance, right?
That's funny. That's
With him
cute.
traveling and whenever you've gone the opportunity to go and visit to any shows or events, have any celebrities that might have like you've had the opportunity to come across and got starstruck, or any probably experiences that you can share with us?
you know, oh, man, it's been so long since I've thought about all of that. You know, funny thing, and I don't get to talk about this a lot again, as I'm kind of just to myself. But like, you know, I've always loved. I mean, again, I'm such a big music lover, and um, like DJ Premier was somebody that I got to meet, and I was like, oh my god. But he was just so down to earth, and sometimes I get like, sometimes I don't always want to meet my like people that I like, because if they're not nice, it
That's
just
a good
kills it
point.
for me.
That's a
Um,
good point.
I've actually, and then one of the big celebrities that I was a big fan of, but I met him on my own at a gig, at one of my photography gigs. I've met Common, super nice guy, and it was just funny because, when I'm supposed to take photos of just like candid photos of what's going on, I just I just remember like I kept like taking
You're like,
photos
I
of
got
him.
every angle of this man right here.
And I just,
Hey.
oh, shit, am I and I remember there was one point where he kind of looked at me like, girl, like you're
Stalking.
yeah, so that was like the only time, because it was just like, oh my god, like I'm backstage with Common with my camera, and
But he seems really photogenic. That face.
yeah,
He
he's
is.
really.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing too, because so when I was shooting, it was like this private show that Jeep did, and he was like, there was like this chair that was on stage, and I just happened to be at the end of the stage, and he kicked it, and it just, I don't know, it was so slow motion, it just like scooted all the way at the end of the stage, and it hit me.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, and he saw that, but of course he's performing, he's literally like performing a song. And so luckily, like, wasn't hard and hit, but it did hit me. And so I went, I moved, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be over here. So I went to like the front, and I think he felt really bad, because there was a point in the song where he just like stared at me and pointed at me so I could get a good shot. So I felt like that was his way of like,
Oh.
Yeah.
sorry, let me give you the shot.
Right.
But in terms of that, it was, so DJ Premier, and I don't remember who else. I'm the worst. Even just being around like the rhyme sayers people, and gosh, I can't even, sorry guys, it's just been so long and so many shows.
No, I just throw it out there because I'm sure, but when you really have to think about it, I'm sure
Too many.
there's just too many, that there's so many to choose, but you're like, realize that sometimes you just get that one shot and you realize that was so and so, and then you're like, you continue doing your job. So I get it, but yeah, definitely those are great opportunities, and definitely not a shot that nobody else can get. So I love it.
That's cool.
We're gonna shout out to Miss Fran Boogie 6. She's her first time here, and she said, "I love this, beautiful ladies."
Oh,
you
we
for
appreciate
tuning
it.
in.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And if that's Mrs. Fran Boogie, you need to tell your man to stop telling everybody to drink Fernet. You know what I mean? Just kidding.
That's funny. Inside joke, I guess.
TP Taylor, what's up? DJ Big Lou 2G, what's up?
Yeah, shout out to all
Hello.
my BJIOS students. A lot of them are in the chat.
Nice.
Yes.
What's up, students?
Ladies of Sound, yes.
Yes.
Send me in the chat.
Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for supporting your principal.
watching.
What's one of the
I
youngest students? I'm just curious.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we first opened, it was so funny. I remember there were like parents that were like, "Oh yeah," because we took them as young as 8 years old, and some of the
Wow.
parents would be like, "Oh yeah, they're 8," and I'd look at she looks like she's 6.
Oh, wow.
We had a lot of that.
Really?
Yeah. So
I love that the parents
but is
just
it-
wanted to engage them so young and be
But is
around
it-
all of
I was going to say, was it more of the maturity level too, though? Because even if you're sometimes 6, you could train, but you know what I mean? Or vice versa, you can't at 8. Or
yeah, from our experience, I mean, I made an exception. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna say no to you. You're so cute. So,
cute.
wanted to give them a chance to try it. So,
Exactly.
our youngest, we've obviously had some 6-year-olds in there, but we've found that like at around 8 years old is kind of like the good number, because if you're standing for an hour and then they're teaching you this completely new thing and there's no screen in front of you, because we start
yes.
everyone on vinyl, like it's a very big thing for us to give everybody
The basics.
the foundation of DJing before we transition them to digital, right? So it was like, how do we get like a room full of kids to and their attention
Stay
to just stay
focused.
right here. And then
Attention
they're
span.
learning how to scratch and they're learning how to mix with records. So we found that 8 is about the good sweet spot for kids to start learning, because by then, they have their mechanics are a little bit better, their attention spans better. If they're any younger than that, unless they've been around it, my suggestion would be to wait around 8 years
Yeah,
old.
I remember when the twins went there for their 8th grade. Remember, it was a charity event that we held, and I was
Yeah.
surprised at some of those. And I think they were all girls, and they were really good, for learning. They pick it
Wow.
up really, really fast,
I think the
Yeah.
and
younger.
All of them
fast.
do. I always say that. I'm like, they learn fast because they don't
Mhm.
have like bills and mortgages. They have a
That's
lot of
They don't have any
room
stresses.
to learn. Yeah.
Right?
But they're pretty amazing. I mean, from what the guys have said, like a concept that they'll teach an adult, it would take an adult maybe like anywhere from a month to learn. They learn it
Oh,
in like 10 minutes.
I believe it.
So,
I
Yes.
believe it.
So what
Mine.
is
Yeah.
who's the oldest? Like, if you can say, like the
oh
oldest.
yeah.
Do you have like
I
an
want to.
older?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to her if she's watching, Ipolani. So sorry, Ipolani, if I'm gonna put
Hey.
your age on blast. I'm just so proud of you
Oh,
for even
She's just
trying.
wise. That's what she is. She's wise and she's getting into this
Yeah.
because
average.
music has no age. Nope.
Yeah, it does.
So
It
good.
doesn't. So she had always been interested in it and just didn't have access to anyone that was like willing to teach her. And she went in and tried it out. But she was 60, so that was our oldest.
Wow.
I love
So,
it.
Good for
yeah.
her.
Can't wait
That's
for her
awesome.
graduation because I know you guys post all those video clips. So can't wait when she graduates. Got to see
Yeah,
that on
her
Instagram.
she wasn't able to continue with us, but her class is graduating. So we actually have 3 graduations coming up.
Oh,
Actually in like
wow.
2 weeks. So
Oh wow.
weeks.
Happy
yeah,
Wow.
we're
grad.
gonna be streaming live on
Dang.
BJunkie iOS's Twitch 3 times in the next month. So
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
How
So we're gonna
exciting.
change it up a little bit because this is one of my questions that I have to ask you, and I never ever did. I almost did, but have you ever slapped a bitch? Like, do you ever have a slap a bitch moment?
None of you have
Ooh.
I never did, but I almost did. Lucky.
Like even
Oh yeah,
mentally, like
yeah. Have you ever?
I'm gonna admit, I don't really remember because I'm always having fun. So
Oh,
I probably talked to somebody at the side of my neck, after a couple of drinks and
wow. We
stuff.
have someone in that chat. They said, "I know who the OG villainess said."
Oh,
She
Uh-oh.
knows.
why are you trying to put
She
that
knows.
out there?
She said,
No.
"Do
She's
tell,
right.
do tell." Everyone's
No,
asking, "Do tell."
I mean, if there's one thing that I can say that I've learned along the way with being with someone like Babs, I had a lot of people just try to be my friend, and for like not the best reasons, right? So some people really wanted to be my friend, and some people just wanted to be my friend because of who I was always around, and I was so young at that time, and I just didn't know any better, and I'm just like, oh, okay, hi, I'm just like new to everything. And so, that's why I'm so like now I'm like older and I'm just like, look, I'm closed off in a sense to where like it takes me a while to get to know you. And I want to make sure that your intentions are pure, that you're a good person. But I've had a lot of yeah, I've had a lot. There's a lot of bitches I wanted to slap, but
I love it.
I think we have all those moments.
oh yeah, now okay, it's all coming back to me now. But
Yes.
no, but
At one
I've told
time.
people like yeah, but I've kept it real with a lot of people, and to the point where they just didn't like what they heard, and I'm just like, look, like you're acting like you're
Obnoxious.
acting
Yeah.
up, then I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
something because
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like you can't be acting like that. So I've always tried to, that's why I'm just like so like everyone's like I'm so what they say intimidating because I don't let just anybody in. I got to protect my family. I got to protect my, my school and just make sure that like, hey, you got to be a decent, good-hearted person to like get close to me. But yeah, I have encountered people that didn't have the best intentions, and I probably should have slapped them, but I will always forgive them. All is forgiven. It's water under the bridge, and I just look back at those things and I just learn from it, and
Yes.
I'm very happy to have the people in my life that I do, and the family, like especially my Beat Junkie family, because without them, like I wouldn't be sane sometimes. I have some good people in my corner, so I'm very, very blessed for that.
That's
Aw.
awesome.
So what's I like to ask this. So what's one thing you like about being a DJ, and what's one thing you dislike?
So I think the reason why y'all don't see me DJing is because it's like going up in front of just having everybody stare at you like, oh, thanks. And then on top of that, you're an artist, so you're putting out there your taste
Your
and your
name, yeah.
creativity, and that's a lot. And so when my students do it and they're nervous, I'm just like, I totally understand where they're coming from, because that's something I just was like, this isn't for me. And just the fear of like, oh, are they gonna like what I'm playing, or the fear of like the dance floor just not moving, like that's something I'd really give up to, like just DJs in general, just like keeping the vibe going,
Yes.
and making sure everybody has a good time. But what I do love about DJing is when you are having the dance floor popping and everybody just having fun. I just love that environment, and being around that, because it's all good vibes. And again, I just love having fun. I mean, I just love being in that kind of like setting and hearing good music, being educated, where like, what song is that? And not having heard something that before. Or what I love too about like the Junkies, and I'm not if you guys haven't been able to see them live, even back in the day, what I always love about what they do is like you get educated on like music in general, like, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even know that was like an original sample, or like I didn't even know that this is by so and so, or they even had this in their catalog. So that's one thing I really do love about DJs, is just that they just have this love and this passion for music, and then to be able to share that with people, and bring those good vibes is definitely why I'm always surrounded by them.
Yes.
For sure. That's true. Definitely.
So aside of you loving around being a DJ, we also know that you love food. Are you a big foodie? And what's any recommendations or anything that it's one of your go-to food spot? I know Dave also always tells us about what spots to go and everything, believe me. So I heard you are a
Oh,
foodie
trust me, I
yourself.
know.
So
Yes, I unfortunately, I'm just partially retired right now, from being a foodie, because I went keto.
That's
And
amazing.
That's
so
so
that
hard.
Tell us about that more. About
yeah,
keto.
so I only have like less than 20 carbs a day. I really don't have
20?
sugar. Yeah, I try to stay under 20 to stay in ketosis.
Yeah.
But and I
Wow.
only made that choice. And Babs and I are both doing it. I only made that
Mhm.
choice because during the pandemic, oh man, I would talk about being a foodie. I was just like cooking everything,
I
eating
think we were all
whatever
there
I
with you.
We were
found.
all there.
Yeah, and on top of that, my lifestyle pre-COVID, I don't have time to eat at the school, so I would eat late, and just that whole lifestyle of just like I was
Mhm.
working a swing shift, and so I was just eating whatever I wanted, and it just led to me being really unhealthy and not feeling good about myself. So I wanted to make a change, and I wasn't sure how to do it. So my friend, one of my best friends, shout out to Jamie, she suggested I try keto because she lost weight, and so I
Nice.
tried it. And within the first 10 days, I lost 5 pounds, and that was like the first time I had lost
Days?
weight in like
Very cool.
yeah, in 10 days I
Wow.
lost 5 pounds, and I've been gaining 10 pounds a year, and I was like, dude, so
So is it like less carbs and less sugar
yeah,
on
I mean, you're
keto?
basically to stay in ketosis, ketosis is basically when you're, instead of using carbohydrates to burn
Oh,
calories, your body's using fat, your stored
yes.
fat. So to stay
Mhm.
in what they call ketosis, you need to make sure that you're eating like under 50 grams at the most.
Oh wow.
But if you're
Wow.
strict, you stay under 20. So yeah, I
Ooh.
became one of those people. Like I'd be at the
Discipline. That's a good discipline.
I mean, and that's only because I saw results.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Yes.
You
That
know,
was quick, especially for women to lose
Mhm.
that many pounds.
Yeah,
Men lose
that's
it.
good.
Men lose it very quick, regardless. They're just there. I'm gonna go on a diet,
Seriously.
and they wake up
Diet
tomorrow
for a
and they're
week,
like,
and they're
"Oh,
like, I can't. I have my Coke today. I'm like, what?
So like,
Come on.
what's like 1 cup of rice? Is that like?
oh, and it's so hard.
One
I'd
cup.
be eating
How
Filipino
is that
food
equivalent
with
to?
rice, like
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. So, but you know, it's temporary. I'm only planning on doing it for a year
Mhm.
because again, it's not exactly sustainable. So,
Yeah,
once that happens, I'm gonna probably switch to like paleo or something. But
that's cool.
you know, I just again wanted to, especially with this pandemic, you know, it's like you gotta
Yeah.
be healthy, you know. Shoot, I'm not trying
Yes.
to get sick or just put myself in a position where my body is just, you know. So I'm just trying to take care of myself. And but you know, in terms of food, I would say one of my favorite places in LA is Bavel, which is not far from here, and I'm actually going there next week, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so if anybody's been to Bestia, this chef Henri and his wife, so it's a wife and you know, husband and wife duo. Man, she
we
makes
love
some
those restaurants."
bomb bread, and I can't even eat it anymore.
Ooh.
But I will cheat.
Oh.
I've cheated
Yes,
when I've gone
you've
there.
earned it. You've
Yeah.
earned it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Go
like,
and
oh,
get it.
I'm gonna have this like amazing pita bread, and you know, I'm just like,
Nice.
and but yeah, so I love Bavel.
The
I like,
Mediterranean food.
yeah, I love. Well,
Ooh,
no, it's just they
Mediterranean.
do it
So
like
good.
they have this like duck hummus. They have these like oyster mushrooms. It's just
Oh my
really
gosh,
really
this sounds amazing.
yeah, really
Yeah.
amazing. And then you know, I love my Filipino food, and
Yeah.
I really miss it. And but I am happy to see, you know, Filipino food I just have broken into the mainstream, and seeing all of these younger generation Filipinos, you know, creating their own menus and putting a spin on it, and things like that. So although I miss it, I'll just take a bite. If all I need is a bite, like
Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
so.
speaking of Filipino chefs, we know that you're friends with the owner of Cafe 86, which is what we just sampled
Yes.
tonight. How do you know her?
So a funny story. I was just at Cafe 86 because there's actually one in Chino Hills,
Mhm.
and
That's the original, right?
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
the first location, and I don't
Okay.
really quite remember, but so my cousin, my first cousin, had a best friend, and his last name was Dimapasok, right? And that's not like a common Filipino name. And when I was like, Dimapasok, I swear my tita Charito has I was like, that's my tita's you know, her husband's best friends. I don't know, they're like pares, you know, whatever, but that's like, anyways, that's like the ninong to my cousin. And I was like, oh, do you, and then I saw Ginger one day, and I was like, hey, do you know so and so? And she's like, oh, Tito Renee, that's my that's our, you know, whatever. And I was like, what? So it was kind of like, it was crazy in that sense. We're like sort of related.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, so you know, that was pretty awesome to find that out. But on top of that, Ginger's become a great friend, and she's also someone who inspires me. She's such an incredible baker, so creative. So I'm so glad you guys got to try her stuff, but y'all
Oh,
need to
it's so
try the
good.
leche flan cupcake. I
Ooh, that
love
sounds
her
good.
Ooh.
turon
Leche
pop
flan.
tarts.
Oh.
What? A
Um,
Toron Pop
yeah,
Tart?
and her
What
spice.
is toron?
Oh my
I don't know. I'm
gosh.
not Filipino.
Oh,
Please.
turon is
Fried
basically a fried banana in a
banana.
Banana.
bowl with jackfruit.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
god.
A banana egg roll.
Yeah,
Ooh.
banana egg roll. So, yeah, it's really good. And then Babs's
my favorite.
favorite dish there, or his favorite pastry there, is the Skyflakes cookie. So
Ooh.
good.
Okay,
Oh, I
I'm gonna
haven't
go
had
there.
that.
I'm gonna go there.
We're
just
sorry
to
that we're putting all these treats
do
out
that.
to you, and you're on keto mode, and I'm like,
You know what? It's so funny because Sammy G's birthday was back in March, and she loves the ube truffles, which you guys tried. So I went to go get her. You know, I was like, I'll get her half a dozen of those. And then when I was in there, I like saw the butter bar, the ube butter bar, and I was like,
Oh,
so I straight up
Yeah.
bought it, and then me and Babs were eating it in the car. We're like sharing it.
At least you shared it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get a butter bar. At least it's butter. It's like fats, right? So
protein. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay. One splurge is good.
Yeah.
Maybe she can
Um,
make you something that's keto
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah.
Well, there's lucky for me, there's Costco is like on this whole keto trend, so there's a lot of good stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen
and
it.
it's not as hard as you think. There's actually a lot of recipes and a lot of influencers that like put me up on game on a lot of these things, and so there's a lot of stuff available, and it's not bad. I make like keto mug cakes all the time to satisfy my sweet tooth, and so
Please post some of those because sometimes I just need ideas. If you want to start something,
yeah,
you don't know where to start, especially if you want to
Yeah.
eat something that's gonna hold you up for a little bit. So yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, so Maricel, from one foodie to another, I have a foodie here who would like to ask you some questions.
Yeah, what's up? I can still remember what like real food and carbs taste like.
Have you been to Vegas? I mean, I'm sure you have, but I don't know how long ago.
Yeah,
Or
it's been a while. I think Bev, the last time I was there was like when the Junkies were DJing at Best Friend at Roy Choi's
that's a
restaurant.
great spot. We love that spot too.
Yes.
Yeah, Roy's a good friend, and that's the last time I was there. So and that was pre-pandemic.
Yes.
But I definitely need to go back. But if there's one place that I love, or no, there's two places actually. I love going to, it's kind of divey, but I love getting oxtail soup in downtown.
I love oxtail.
Yes.
And I forget where was it. I forgot the name of the place, but
California Hotel.
yeah, there you go.
Oh
So
yes.
I love that oxtail soup, and then I also love Lotus of Siam.
Ooh,
I've
that
heard
place
of
is
that
really
place.
good. That place
In
is so
there.
good. Yeah.
Really, I definitely have to check that place out.
We need to go there.
Maricel, when you come, we're definitely gonna have to
It's
take
always
that
busy,
tour.
but yep, we're gonna go
Oh,
there.
I'm down. Or anywhere you guys want to take me that's new, because like just Vegas just has like really good food in general. I used to be all about the buffets too. I'm like, give me the prime rib and give me that
Yeah.
crab legs.
Right.
And that's all keto, so I can still eat that stuff. So.
Nice.
Hi, Dave.
Hey,
Hey,
Dave.
Dave.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
AK Foodie, AK Wax Fondler,
I know.
AK
Wax
whatever
Fondler.
you want to be. We here.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Maricel? How you
Hello.
doing?
Hey D, what's up?
Man, it's been a year. I don't know if you realize I haven't seen you guys in over a year. Crazy, right?
I know, that's so weird, right? You guys gotta come back down to LA, or I'll just tell, like, I was telling Bev, I was like, man, I'm gonna tell Roy, like, Roy, bring the guys out there so I can go see everybody.
I know, right? Soon though, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So anyways, I have some rapid fire questions that I wanted to
Oh.
ask you. Right. So I don't want you to spend too much time thinking. You just say your answer real quick, like 1 or 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I'll try.
All right. So,
We didn't know about this, so hey, you're
I
on your own,
know.
Marcel.
Oh, I'm scared because it's from D Styles too. Oh.
Right?
Oh,
I mean, these are mainly food questions.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah,
safe.
I know your sense of
Super.
humor, man.
Super
Exactly.
easy. All right, ready? Real quick. All right. Ramen or pho? Go.
Ramen,
Red or white wine? Go.
white,
Thin crust or deep dish pizza? Go.
thin.
Breaking Bad or Ozark?
Ooh, that's a good one. Damn. I'm gonna say Breaking Bad.
Ooh.
Josh would appreciate
That
that.
he would
know.
definitely
Gosh.
appreciate that if he was in the channel.
That Breaking Bad, that ending, like if that was the ending of all endings, and I think it's hard for a lot of shows to like go out in that way. So that's why I'm
Right.
gonna say Breaking Bad is that. But I'm ready for like Ozarks, just like bring that next season back, because like Wendy girl. what's wrong with you?
I know.
I know, right? Okay. Brazilian wax or natural curly hair down south?
Oh, I wanted to make a joke right now, but I'm gonna keep it PG. But I'm gonna say Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Brazilian, peace
Nice.
out. I love it.
Bastos, dude.
All right. Bastos. Okay. Korean barbecue or Texas barbecue?
Korean barbecue.
Korean
Nice.
barbecue. Sushi or ceviche?
Sushi.
Sushi. Nice. Edibles or flowers?
Oh, come on, D. Flowers.
Flowers. Okay. Indica or sativa?
Depends on the day.
Mm.
Am I off? Because if I'm off, it's indica. If I'm need to function,
No,
it's sativa.
typical workday. Typical workday.
I think I'd like to consider myself a professional, so I don't really know what I smoke at the time, So both.
Both. All right. Hybrid.
Hybrid, yeah.
Beat juggling or scratching? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I never tried beat juggling. So I'm gonna actually say beat juggling because that's something I need to tackle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Burritos or tacos?
Ooh, man. Okay, tacos.
Nice.
Because I can try all the
Me-
meats. I'm like, give me one pastor, one carnitas, one asada.
Oh yes. Nice.
That's the
True.
way to go.
Trifecta.
Flight.
Yep. Okay. Serato or real vinyl?
Ooh.
That's a hard one, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Depends.
say it does depend. If you're gonna go to the school, I want you to learn real vinyl first, and
Nice.
then earn Serato.
Keep it real. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, if you know how to do Serato, do you also know how to do vinyl? So I'm gonna say learn the first one. Then learn the
Exactly.
second one.
Correct answer. Chinatown.
Is there points?
Sorry. No points. Chinatown or Koreatown?
Chinatown.
Chinatown. Oh. All right. Aisle seat or window seat?
Window.
Window. Gotta have the window.
Always.
Yep. Ross or Marshalls?
I don't go to either.
What really?
No. Home Goods.
Home Goods is good. Yeah.
That's her answer.
They're kind of the same company, right? Kind of.
Right. All right. Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich or Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, okay. If you guys, anyone who's eaten out with me, I actually involuntarily, if I eat spicy food, I will just cough. My body doesn't like it. So I'm gonna
Really?
say Chick-fil-A. Boring, but I just I can't eat spicy food. I'm trying. I've been getting better, but like I'll have a cough attack, and during COVID, kind of scared.
No
me.
bueno.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fried lumpia or fresh lumpia?
Fried. The fresh one.
Right.
Gotta have fried.
Sorry,
Right?
mom.
Right. All right. Pad Thai or pancit?
Pancit.
Pancit. Ooh. Okay. And last, your favorite cuss word. Go.
Fuck.
Good
I
one.
say
Good
a
one.
little too much, but sorry, students. I cuss a lot. Just it depends on how long you talk to me. But I'm average. What can I say? Shit.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
That was-
I think you passed. You're good.
That was fun. I think she
I was
passed.
supposed to pass.
I'm just joking.
She earns a pass for Vegas, and we can take her out on a real footy adventure.
I'm gonna let D Styles, the Yelp elite over here, lead the way. So no.
Not anymore. I'm not Yelp Elite. They kicked me out. Because you know how you have to keep up with like the reviews and all that junk.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pandemic.
You
How
don't
gonna
keep
review?
up? Come on.
I know who has time. Who has time to do all that, right?
It was good here. Service was bad. I don't know.
I know. Right? I'm all about the pictures anyway. So
Yeah, me too.
Same.
yeah.
And experience.
What's up, Babu? Where's
What's
Babu
up,
at?
Babu?
Oh, there's Babs.
There's Babu.
No, we
Hello,
can't hear you,
hello.
Can you hear us?
Not
Can you
yet.
hear us?
Uh-oh.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Babu.
What's up?
What's up, Babs?
What's up, D?
What's going
Hi,
on,
ladies.
man?
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
Happy Thursday.
Thanks for having us. That was
Yes,
awesome.
exciting.
I was super tuned into the interview. I was like so zoned in. I didn't even like involve myself in the chat. I was so locked in. I was
Oh, must be
also
our
like,
special guest, right? She just in
well,
awe.
I was kind of like a little nervous. I was kind of holding my breath at a few moments too. Though I was just like, "Oh, God damn, what's she gonna
like
say?
at the
Oh,
slap a
man,
bitch
what's she
part.
gonna say about me?"
Slap a girl. What was that one? Yeah.
No, you did good, Maricel. That was tight. Super dope.
Aw,
She did good.
thanks. I thought you were busy with our pet with Cleon.
Oh, I don't even know where he is. Maricel's talking about our cat. What's up, everybody? What's up,
I didn't know
everybody?
you
in the
guys have a
chat?
cat.
We do
Oh
have a
yeah,
cat.
he's a
We got a cat
pandemic
during
pet.
COVID.
Then I can't come over because I'm allergic.
Oh.
To cats, really?
I thought
I
Babs was
am.
too, and guess he's
I'll
not.
hella vacuum before you come over, Bev, and help him out, and then we'll put Cleon in the bedroom away from like the Don't worry,
Oh,
we'll make sure. No
well,
worries.
thanks for making time for us, Babs. I know you're busy.
Yes.
No,
super,
not
super
at all.
busy.
No, thank you guys for having us. We
Oh.
this is like I think the first time Marisol and I have ever done anything like this or even
Oh,
been public at all about our relationship, besides a Instagram photo here and there. So yeah, we're both like pretty excited about it. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
thank you for being here.
Thank
I know
you.
Junkie wanted to ask you something.
I did. I'm so curious. So, how did you get your DJ name?
For me, I'm gonna expose my age, but I grew up when, like, hip hop, first, exploded. Early memories of, I'm a Navy brat, so I moved around a lot when I was a kid. But in '84, we moved to Oxnard, California, and it was like, literally, some of you guys might remember the time. It's like '84 Olympics, and it was just a crazy time. Hip hop was new. There's hip hop movies, music is popping off. Kids literally on my block are putting down cardboard and spinning on their backs and stuff. Like it's just a pretty much my earliest memories. Just all the elements. There was an older kid on my street who had turntables too, and we'd all pop and break in his garage. So that was like my first early, you know, entry into like falling in love with hip hop. And I think the music just followed me. But it wasn't until I was 16 that I actually started DJing because it's a really expensive hobby. It was back then, even more so, and it's even more expensive now probably, but it was a lot. And it was actually the first time my mother like really put her foot down and said, "No, I'm not going to support this hobby." Like when she found out how much one turntable cost, and I was asking for two of them, like she was like, "No, like that's not happening. You do a hobby for 6 months and then you drop it. There's no way we're investing in this." So it was actually really great because it forced me to get my first job. I turned 16, I got a job, and I worked really hard for a year, and I haven't looked back since. I just started, DJing, and it's funny in the beginning. I tried to do what most DJs do, like be with a mobile crew and DJ parties, but very quickly I learned I was really just more into the actual, technical side of DJing. I loved cutting and scratching and making mixtapes, and I think before there was that term, I think I just naturally gravitated to being in the bedroom. So like after a year of clearing dance floors as a mobile DJ, I just went to the bedroom, and I started really just trying to hone my craft. And I went on a real hunt to find similar minded DJs, and I thank God every day. I found the Beat Junkies, or the Beat Junkies found me. I don't know which way it happened, but I still remember meeting D. I still remember like entering this battle in LA, this rap sheet battle, and D was there, and he was just there with Shortcut. I think he was just traveling with Shortcut, and Shortcut was in the battle too. And I ended up losing to Shortcut, but I did really well for being a nobody at the time. And I remember me and D really hitting it off, and D being like, "Hey man, DMC is next week in San Francisco. You should just come to my house, and you could stay at my house. Just like Southwest is like $50, $100, whatever. You could fly, and you could just crash on my floor, man." And I literally I did that, and my DJing like really like it was like literally that weekend it all really happened for me. I ended up placing, and before you knew it, guys that were like I just knew by reputation where all of a sudden I'm rubbing shoulders with them, and it was a whirlwind time for me. And I can't say enough, like it really like changed my life, getting down with the Beat Junkies. And and I haven't stopped since. I'm still doing Beat Junkie shit now. It's crazy. I'm so old.
How did you get your name? Hello.
Oh my God. Well, that's
Question.
Was that the question? Really? Oh my god. Sorry. My name
Okay.
is.
We love
He
your
got Star
story.
Trek with us. That's why.
But even before I was DJing, I had the nickname. This is like really embarrassing, but it's the truth. Like, trying to be cool, I had both my ears pierced. And I used to wear like hoop earrings, like when I was in high school. And one of my friend's older brothers used to always call me Babu because he was referring to this old cartoon from the 70s. He was a little older than me, so he was referring to this cartoon from the 70s. There you go, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
That's
He would
my
call me
God.
Babu, and this genie would always say yabble dabble, So he would always we'd be playing basketball, and it was like during the
Nice.
days where ball was life, and he would literally say Babu yabble dabble, Babu yabble dabble, yabble dabble. He would like just grill me with it all the time, and yeah, by the time I started DJing, it just naturally became like my DJ name.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I do like that.
Sorry for the
Wow.
long-winded answer. You guys didn't get any of that shit.
No, I love hearing
See why
it
he
'cause
keeps me around, ladies?
You keep him in sync. Bring him back. So regarding relationship that you guys have are so grounded in a great partnership, like what challenges that you would say in your relationship that you've kind of had to battle, and what would you say, would be your strengths?
Um.
Why don't you
Okay, I
start?
want to make sure I'm answering the right question here before I just totally
Challenge.
answer about something y'all don't even know. So
One
you're
of your
saying like,
challenge. A
working with
challenge.
Maricel, you're saying working with my significant other. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Want to make sure, okay, before I just start talking about scratching or something else. Sorry about that. So
No, our viewers would appreciate all of that too. So
everything's relevant. It's good.
Yes.
Everything.
well, working with your significant other, I mean, you guys nailed it on the head. It's definitely difficult, and it's hard, and it's something that Maricel and I work very hard at. And I think at the end of the day, we just both always hold ourselves to this standard of being professional at all times as much as possible. Even on our worst days, we our skin has gotten tough from working together at this school for 4 years, and we put in a lot of time and hours on top of commuting together. And it's put our relationship to the test, but I definitely am so blessed to be able to work with someone who really inspires. We inspire each other, so it's really dope. Like the way what she's done and brought to the school has been amazing, and we both really always wanted to make sure Maricel was here because she had a certain skill set, or she was the best person for the job. We really try to go above and beyond to show everyone that there's no nepotism involved here. To be honest with you, Maricel is working with us because shouts out to Sunil, DJ for real, one of our Beat Junkie business partners and good friends. He's the one who actually tapped Maricel to work with us early on when we were first getting ready to open the school. She was doing designing the website for us. She was like a third party person. Sunil and myself and Chalk would all get up at my house, and we would be working on this website with Maricel. And that happened for like maybe, I don't know, the year to 6 months before we opened the school. And by the time we opened the school, it only made sense. Sunil was like, hey, I think we should bring Maricel in, and it wasn't even something I was even seeing happening. And and ever since that point, we just both made it a point that if we were going to go down this avenue, that we would always have to remain professional and put our personal aside when it came to the business. And
Yeah, we
sometimes
do get out in the
guys,
car before anybody sees us. No, I'm just kidding.
Maricel said it. Maricel said it earlier. We're both very like fiery and passionate and love what we do, and sometimes we really butt heads, to say the least. That's like the nicest way of putting it. But I couldn't imagine us doing, being where we're at without Maricel's touch, and what she brings to the school. She's an integral part of everything that goes down at the Beat Junkie Institute of Sound. And yeah, and what can I say, ladies? We, that lady's touch is everything, and she's really put me up on game, and all the our entire community. The female energy is so strong, and it's been such a blessing. It was something that I didn't foresee opening this business that Maricel really opened up our eyes to. On one level, she broke it down to me like this, and this is really funny. She's like, you know what? If a woman likes something, Babs, she gonna spend on it. So you know what? We need to get some ladies up in this motherfucker right now. So, so on the most
Agree.
practical level, you know, she always made that clear. You know what I mean? She's like, if you can convince a lady that this is real and this is for her and this is a good investment, she's not gonna blink twice.
She's gonna return. Yes.
And then the most amazing, you know, thing that I discovered is just like, you know, what it is, you know, it's a joy to teach. You know, I really love teaching, but you know, I did find a difference teaching women and teaching men. And you know, women are just such awesome learners. And you know, I can't agree with Maricel enough. No disrespect to my guy students out there. I love you guys. I love you guys. But it's awesome how I could tell a woman something once versus me having to tell a man something maybe 100-200 times before they make a change, you know? So
And that's just in your school. Imagine life.
Right.
Right?
We're good listeners. We are good listeners.
You know,
No, but,
Babs, it's so funny because I joined Instagram because I would see your pictures on there. And I was always asking Dave, like, how does Babs do that with the pictures? It's just so amazing. And then I figured that's how you guys sort of bonded, you know, with photography, because you guys are both really, really good at it. But
you
where
know,
did that
sure.
whole Instababs thing come from? And
You know, I don't know. That's so funny you bring that up, Bev. It's so funny when I think about it now. You know what's funny now, Bev? Is go to the Instababs hashtag now and go look at that shit. It is such the most ugly collection of photos you ever see on Instagram. It's like
course.
90
Can I just
photos of Air
say-
Jordans and shit. Like, it's like
The whole
so
Instababs
funny what it's
thing,
become.
Babs was like so early on using like hashtags. Like he really made like Instababs like pop off. And it's so funny because when we first you know, you think, yeah, we connected on that level, but man, like I said, like we would be fighting about like pictures. I'm just like, look, dude, like I don't like when you get this close to my face, you know, and it's just why can't you just let me take pictures the way I want to take pictures? So we were like, oh, we can't. We argue too much about this stuff. So you know, but then when it came to the school and it came to music, which is something also that we've connected on, it was kind of funny. But if also what's really cool is Babs and I we have this like weird innate thing of just kind of being like this much ahead of a curve, and then it gets like popular. And this is something we've both noticed like during our relationship. So when he you know, got on the whole Instababs trend and like and created like that style, like people were definitely you know, he definitely influenced people. But you know, he's such a hip-hop head. He's like, everybody's doing it now, I'm done, you know. And that's and I was kind of the same way. But yeah, it's cool to see like how much he's innovated it. And like I think me and him are working on like, okay, if we're up on something a little bit ahead of time, instead of us getting like that's old or whatever, and having that kind of attitude, finding a way for us to like cultivate it and like, you know, take it somewhere else instead of just having that kind of like approach to it.
that's so interesting. But yeah, I always wondered, where did that come from and where is it now? And then please, Babs, you have to tell us the whole Melvin story, because I remember when it started, you know, someone calling you that by accident, but it sort of turned into this own thing now. So please explain.
Yeah, there's actually the you know, the explanation behind the whole Melvin thing is so
And ladies, that's his shirt that he's wearing. That's the hashtag.
Ah!
That's why I was wondering, what is that hashtag?
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, you made a t-shirt out of it. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes they're the best.
well, obviously, you know, what Melvin's become is like my remix series of stuff. You know, I've been like dabbling with dance music and just putting out like these dance remixes of songs and edits. Been having a blast doing it. But you know, the name Melvin, it actually it's really funny. So I don't know at what year this happened, but this is a long time ago, way before I even did the project. But yeah, I went on to like Wikipedia, and this is when I was first getting hip to Wikipedia. I didn't know much about it. And someone told me to go, oh man, check out Wikipedia. It's sick. It's like an online encyclopedia, and like, you know, people just load information. It's about everything, not just old stuff, you know. So I was like, yeah, look yourself up, dude. There's probably like a whole page, and I went to it, and I was like, oh, sick. You know, they had like my whole all this information about me, like where I was born, and my discography and affiliations. I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. I can't even believe they have this. And as I'm reading all the details, it gets to my legal name. And I don't know why someone inputted that my legal name was Melvin Babu. And so I just this is like 15 years ago, probably. I just started rolling with it. I just started hashtagging Melvin on all my Instagram photos.
But here's the thing. He totally rolled with it. Like I remember, like we would be out and someone would, like people would either say like Babu or whatever from a distance when they see him. But then there came a point where people were like, "Hey, what's up, Melvin?" And I was like, and then instead of correcting them, he would just
He's
be
like, "What's up?"
And I'm like, and it became a thing where like even one of my good friends, shout out to Carla, she was like, "Oh, Babs' name isn't Melvin?" I was like, "No, it is not Melvin." She's like, "Oh my god, I totally thought it was Melvin, and he never corrected me." And I was like, "Of course he didn't." So he legit for years, you guys, years he let people call him Melvin, and people thought that was his name. And I was like, "Ew." But then it became this like his like other persona in his like new like coming of he reinvented himself and he's just like, "I'm Melvin." So, and that's a whole other thing. If anybody has copped Melvin, and if you also, my students will know how funny this guy is. If you read the titles of the songs, it just says a lot about him.
What's wrong with the titles? There's nothing wrong with the titles.
Yeah, tell us, Maricel. Tell us.
I don't know. Babs, why don't you tell everybody about, I don't want to hurt nobody.
Ladies, just go look at the artwork of the album. You'll appreciate it reading it later to yourselves. If I tell you about it, it just doesn't have
yeah, just go look at the discography, just read the back of it and like
just look at the song titles. You'll either love it or just like think I'm the stupidest person in the world. Either way,
look in the chat and see the title and say it out loud.
But the last thing about this Melvin thing that is really funny about it though is so I rolled with it for a few years, and this is one of the funniest things that happened about it. I remember one day getting a call from my buddy Peanut Butter Wolf. So I have a few records on Stone's Throw, and he hits me up one day. He's like, "Yo, hey man, I just wanted to give you a heads up, man. We're being sued for one of your records because you sampled so and so, And I'm like, "Oh, damn, really?" Yeah. He's like, "Yeah." And so he sent over the paperwork, and I looked at it, and these guys sued Melvin.
Melvin?
Yeah. It was amazing. They sold Melvin Babu. So I think we've been like dodging that lawsuit now for like 10 years now because they've
oh my,
very nice.
Yeah, so it worked out really great.
So there was a reason for.
So whoever went to my Wikipedia and changed the name,
Oh man. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Babs, I know you've toured as we were discussing earlier with Dilated, also the Beat Junkies. So I wanted to ask you, who would you say is the hardest person to share a room with?
Ooh, he might get in trouble, guys. I don't know.
Well, no. So I'll be honest, and straight up off the top, I already know off the top is one because I spent so much time touring with him, but two, he'll answer the same. Raka for sure, and I'm not even putting this on him. It's hard to room with him because Raka is the lightest sleeper. So
any noise.
I historically am a pretty loud snorer. Would you say, Maricel? Can you concur?
In his sleep sometimes, and laughs in his sleep. He actually laughs in his sleep sometimes, guys.
Oh.
Where I work out my jokes in my dreams.
It's like 3 a.m. and he's like, ha ha ha, and I'm like,
that's creepy.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
It's healthy.
But, so I'm not saying it's hard to room with Raka because like he's messy or something like that. I'm saying it's because like I keep him up and I feel really bad because like I literally will try not to snore. I'll try. I remember like early on before when we were still like starting out touring and we had to share rooms. We couldn't quite afford having our own rooms yet. I ended up bumping with Rock. And I remember one night that, we got to London and we had an all-night drive and we couldn't check into the room until like the earliest they could let us in was like 11 a.m. They still had to like clean the rooms and kick other people out. And the earliest they could do was 11 a.m. And we pulled up to this hotel at like, 8 a.m., from driving all night from the previous gig. So, we just stay up and rough it, walk around, get some breakfast, wait till 11 a.m. and we finally get to our room. And I'm like dog tired. And I can, it's that point, I already know I irritate the crap out of him every time. So I'm trying to like let him fall asleep first. And I'm fighting not to fall asleep. And I swear to God, every time I fall asleep and I snore, I'm like, I'm like, oh my God. And it got to the point where like Rock was getting so frustrated. Like my dog was getting so frustrated and I felt so bad. I just got up and dressed and I just walked the streets of London for like 10 hours. I just felt so bad.
No
I just
way.
Oh my
I
god.
just walked all over London. And I
Oh.
was like, I felt so bad. I didn't know what to do. And I was like, oh my God, I can't stop snoring.
What's crazy is
So
like he'll drink so much coffee, like he'll get home from like the school and he'll like, oh, let me just get my Nespresso going. And I'm like, dude, it's like 11 or midnight, and he'll have a coffee, and I'm over here like winding down, and he'll still fall asleep first. He can fall asleep so easily. So
That's like Mark. I get mad.
know,
I'm like, Mark always does that too. He falls
yeah,
asleep
I'm like,
anywhere.
let me fall asleep first before you start or something. So I always try to make sure I'm asleep first because
Yeah.
but I will say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Maricel. I'm not like chainsaw snoring, like you said. It's like laughing and groaning and like like I said, I'm like
sometimes we'll have like a
jokes.
full on conversation. Like sometimes I'll be like, we'll say something, and then in the morning I'll ask him. He's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Dude, you were like replying to me," and he's like completely like
It's okay.
no
Okay, it's a
recollection.
little creepy. I get it. I get why it's creepy. I know.
No, I know. Da, da, da. And then
But
the next
it could
morning
be
he's like, "What are
worse.
you
It could be
talking
worse,
about?"
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Babu, like out of all the places that you've traveled to, what's like the weirdest or unusual places that you've been to or traveled to for a gig?
I was caught in a blizzard in Siberia. I say that because that just sounds like a lie, right? That doesn't even sound real. I literally
Wow.
was in Eastern Europe and with some pretty scary parts. Going through like war-torn areas and you know Dilated, we've toured like all levels of touring. We've played like dives and we've played like stadiums and everything in between. So it's like certain points of our career, like our bread and butter has always been touring, and we're a very self-sufficient, independent group. There's been times where if we didn't have a booking agent or a tour manager, we would just take on those responsibilities and do them ourselves. So sometimes you end up with some janky promoters and end up in some places like war-torn Siberia in a blizzard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
That was pretty amazing. But it feels so long ago, and it's been a while since I really traveled like that. But with Dilated, I love touring, and every city and the moments we have on stage were always amazing. We're always blessed to have this army of fans who really always showed out for us, and we're so grateful for. But nothing really compared to performing in LA. Something I was always grateful for. Nothing beat a show in LA for us. And as much as we could go overseas and get love in some crazy place that so many miles away, and maybe there's language and geographical borders. There's nothing like performing in LA. So
Nice. So that was your craziest story that you have witnessed, or
He has some crazy ones like the villainess in the chat. She's like, "But did you die?" Just kidding. Shout out to my phone. There were there's two stories. Actually, there were two moments where I think you said you were in Germany and he saw a motorcyclist get hit by a car and like the guy flew in the air.
yeah, that was pretty
oh
amazing. That was,
no.
And
I mean that would have been amazing anywhere. But like yeah. But I watched a guy get flown into the air like 25 feet. That was pretty like a rag doll.
Crazy.
And then
I don't
that one
Yeah,
time you
refresh my
guys
memory.
were, you remember that other time? And this is, I remember this because I just remember being home and I'm like, I can't, oh my God, like I can't do anything. And you guys were, I forgot where you guys were, but I think it might have been
Oh, we're somewhere in Scandinavia.
Woodstock. Yeah, no, it was like, I think it was like European Woodstock or something like that, and you guys were like in some deep forest, and you guys were in a Sprinter with no seatbelts, and you
Oh
guys
wow.
accidentally hit a huge like
No.
not like a deer, it was like almost like a moose size like
Yeah, it was a
animal.
moose. It was like some kind of moose or
Yeah, it was
something.
like huge, and then you guys went over the you guys told me
Medium.
you guys, yeah, you went over
Yeah,
the
that was
side of the
that was that
road,
was
and
a pretty close call. That was a pretty close call.
Wow, that is
never liked those stories.
That's
I'm like always glad he's
scary.
okay, you know.
that is yeah.
Well,
Yes.
you know what I think is kind of like one of the craziest horror stories I guess I have was like I do remember distinctly, early on we had the opportunity to tour with Linkin Park like during their big heyday. And
Nice.
I literally remember it
Yeah.
was the first night of our tour. I believe, we were in Germany. I want to say it was Berlin. And I remember waking up to the news of you know those planes flying into the Twin Towers, so that blew my
Oh,
mind, and the tour ended up being canceled, and I just remember that whole thing. That was really crazy to be away from home during 9/11, and
yes.
that was pretty weird,
Did you go
experience.
home right
Uh,
after?
we had to stay for a few days. I think we were there
Wow.
4 or 5 days because all of a sudden, travel
No
was suspended
flights.
and things went
Yeah.
crazy. And I remember that experience of going to Heathrow and trying to fly back home, and it was crazy. They just had us all waiting. They had to use all kinds of different space because the whole airport
Yes.
was packed. So they had us waiting like in a roped off area in the parking lot, and it took forever to get to our gate. And I remember getting on the plane and it being so tense. And even all the stewardesses,
Oh,
I knew it. The stewardesses were all these like
Gosh.
really
I
huge,
have
like mean
goosebumps.
looking men. Like they were all like undercover, like
Oh,
flight police or something, or
yeah.
yeah, and like they were just spilling drinks left and right. Oh, you want to cook? I mean, they're real short with
Oh,
people, like the worst stewardesses ever. But they look like
yeah.
undercover soldiers or something, so no one could really complain when they were like a hot mess. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting situation though.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Crazy.
Jeez.
Wow.
I think that topped it. Wow.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, you could ask Evidence Rocker probably lived a wilder tour life than I did. You know what I'm saying? I was always the low key guy that would just go record shopping and just smoke a gang of weed in the back of the bus. So that
Oh
was kind of
man.
my job. That was kind of my job all the time. So I was more than happy to do
Babs,
that.
how old are your sons now?
So Nico's 22
Oh,
and
that's a great photo.
Oh, so cute.
That's
and
a nice
Micah
one.
is 16.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not children anymore. So, but
Oh,
yeah, they're amazing. Nico is in the music game himself. He goes by Nico Beats, and
oh,
yeah, he's been making beats since he's been 10 years old. He's had his own little thing going on in his own room outside of Dad's room. So, and he's
that's
That's
just
awesome.
amazing.
hasn't stopped, and he started this amazing company called the Oasis Music Library, and he makes sound packs for other producers, and he started this business
Really?
over pandemic,
Wow.
and he's just been thriving. He's got his own studio in LA, and just he's just dropped an amazing album with his boy Huey Briss. Go check that out, Huey Briss and Nico Beats, Grace Park legend. It's out now. So yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy. He's actually the real maker of the
Wow.
house nowadays. And then my youngest one, Micah, he's an amazing skateboarder, and he plays bass guitar and is just a creative weirdo. Our whole house is just creative and weird. Art and music just all collides here, and and we really embrace being unique and being creative over here. But yeah, those are my two sons.
Oh, they're so
Wow.
big
Very, you must be
now.
very
Talented,
proud,
too.
very proud, talented, very.
Talented,
Did you
yes.
embrace all of that creativity right away? Or did you have other plans that you wanted for the
I
boys?
think actually it's funny. Like I'm the kind of dad that would like I would make them do collages. Like I really pushed creativity. I mean, like early on, Marisol and I, like anytime we could take them to a museum, um,
Like flea
take them to another
markets,
city to
art
show them.
galleries.
Yeah, we were always trying to like fill their vision with
Artistic.
creative things, as well as a balance of being family oriented and being grounded and being responsible people too as well, but we really thrive off of in this house of just, um, putting attention to little things like the aesthetic, and the way things feel and the energy, and trying to always bring positive energy to the situation, and always try to take a little second to uh, check your style, and it just makes your life more enjoyable, and we love the creative energy that's in the house, and yeah, if anything, like I probably like embrace it too much, I guess, but I don't
No,
know if
it's
there's such a thing.
really cool because people ask me all the time like, oh, does all the your house loud? Is it too much? And at this point it's just been such a staple and literally like the fabric of my life, where like I love it. It doesn't bother me at all, and I love that. Like, the only thing that bothers me is the metronome, I will say that. um, um because sometimes like if Babs is making if he's producing, like I'll hear his metronome, and then before Nico had his studio, Nico's metronome would be going off, and I'm like trying, just
Oh
like
my.
it's like stuck, and I'm just like, oh my god. And that's the only time it would like get to me. But when I would hear the results of what they were both making, it was really beautiful. And then when Micah started getting into playing, he's like, well, I want to get a bass and guitar and all of that. At the same time, I would hear Babs would either be practicing scratching, or making, producing, making a beat, and then same thing with Nico, and then Micah would be playing the bass, and that would like literally be like going on all at the same time. And
Wow.
some people be like, oh, that's too much, but I really did, like, I would have these moments where I'm just like, oh, I love it. I love that my house is full of like music and
Yes.
creativity, because
Oh yes.
I've always wanted, I didn't grow up with parents encouraging the arts necessarily, right?
Mhm.
Because that's not how you
Yes.
make a living to them, and all of
Mhm.
that. But to show them that that's possible, and then them also seeing that through Babs, was a big thing for them. So I love that our family is really like, we're all like little artsy musical nerdos like in the house. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
That's awesome.
If you walk around our house, like, it's you walk in and it's we have a lot of photos that Maricel took on the wall. We even have Maricel's art. And as corny as it sounds, like I get a lot of my creative mojo from my mother who lives with us too. I mean, like, my mom has always been great with her hands, and my dad as well. But my mom's macrame is all over the house, and her little touches
Oh.
of creativity too. And so, you know, we all really I think take pride in being this kind of weird alternative household, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And sometimes people think weird is a bad connotation, but I actually, it's a compliment in our house. I
Right.
affectionately call my sons weirdos all the time. Shoot, I call Maricel a weirdo all the time.
We're
Um,
all
We're
weirdos.
all weirds in our own way.
you know and, but for the most part, I think, like, something I learned on my path that I tried to pass on to both my kiddos is, when I was younger, my parents, they always wanted you to like focus on school, and don't get too sucked into anything. Just, always remember your schoolwork, be a doctor or architect or whatever they wanted you to be. And then I remember being young. I've always had this strange, like, laser like focus when I wanted to be into something or I like something. I would, I guess the best way to say it, I would get obsessed with it. If I like skateboarding, then I was about it. I dressed like it. I talked it. I knew every skateboarder. I skated, and and that's pretty much like how I've always been. And I think that played a big part in me being able to get where I'm at now. So, if my parents were telling me not to be all obsessive, I actually think I've been telling my kids to be obsessive. Find find what it is you love and that what you're good at, and dig in. And
Yeah.
because I really truly feel like it's really not about money. When we talk about it, yeah, you got to sustain and be responsible, have life. But if you really love what you do, it's nothing to get up and work 18-hour days if you love what you're doing and you believe in it. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
really hope my
Definitely.
kids see Marisol and I, we still have goals and dreams, and just like most people, we struggle making ends meet sometimes, and life is tough, and pandemic ain't helping nobody, but
Mhm.
I'd love to think that we're able to keep going because we really love what we do. We really truly love being at the school. Maricel loves what she's created with Ladies of Sound. I've fallen in love with DJing again to the point of, doing the things we do with the Junkies. It's still crazy that we're able to still DJ and still hold our heads up in this way, doing something really classy that really contributes to the culture. So, we're all just counting our blessings, and I'm grateful just to still be here at my age, still being creative and still having fun and still DJing.
Absolutely. I think your guys' lives exemplify that very, very well,
Yes.
and especially the way you guys are raising your sons. I think you guys are doing amazing.
Yeah,
So that's
I'm
really
I'm
cool.
honestly really grateful for just what we've been able to create, and super proud of both of them, and especially to see now Nico being 22. We were always talking about like during the pandemic, like getting our own spaces and things like that, and then like this guy gets a space and I was like, oh shoot. I was like, okay. I was really really proud of him and inspired by him to just like, okay, I'm gonna go for it too, because I was hesitant at first to take on such a big responsibility, but to finally get everything I love under one roof, is something that I still I still bug out that I was even able to pull that off. But to see Nico to follow his dreams and really just create his own lane, literally making money in his sleep. It's crazy,
Wow.
guys. Like I would tell Babs, like, this guy created like Oasis Music Library. And this will be taking a nap on the couch, right? And I just hear his like phone go cha-ching, cha-ching, and I'm like, what the hell?
Wow.
So it was,
Must be
really,
nice.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, you want to buy dinner today? But it's really, really awesome to
Oh,
see.
good for
You
him.
never know where, if they're listening, or if anything you're doing, as a, me as a parental figure,
Yeah.
in their life, anything sinks in. But when you see them do things like they've, like when Micah now wants to go to the flea market, I was like, I thought you didn't want to go to the flea market. I thought it was something I forced you to do, But then something like that, or like seeing Nico just like go for it and like have these conversations with me, and then make something like a studio come to fruition. And Babs has been such an amazing father, and it's been really great to see him chase after that. And I would like to think it's because he saw his father do it, and they've
Yes.
seen us
Mhm.
like grind the last 4 years. I mean, if there's anything I'm grateful for in the pandemic, it was being able to be home with them, because when the school opened, it was like we didn't really realize how much of us and our time it would take. So yeah, we would go hard in the paint at the school, and not really have that kind of time with the family as much as we did. So this last year has been pretty amazing, and I feel like we've all grown from it. We're still growing, and yeah, it's I love our little musical family.
Aw. Well, you guys
Aw.
definitely teach by example, so that's
Yes.
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on. But
Thank
before
you
I let you
all.
go, I wanted to ask you, Marisol, we always ask our guests this. What's one thing about Babs that we would be surprised to know?
Oh, I like sharing this actually. He comes from, hip hop, right? Like deep rooted, like underground, like hip hop, right? Like boom bap, like all that kind of stuff. And this guy is like the biggest New Edition fan ever.
Oh,
Like
I love
he
it.
wanted to he like dressed like them, and like knows the moves to, or he used to know the moves to It
Really?
Isn't
That's
Love.
Does he sing
Oh
sing it
yeah.
too?
Oh no, dude. Sometimes we'll put on, like, I'm telling you, we're like, so like, we spend a lot of time commuting. So in the
Yeah.
cars, when we have like these conversations with music, and like we'll nerd out on like a song, and
Aw.
so, but we always like find our way back to New Edition, and we put on some like
that's
I
awesome.
mean, like when the New Edition movie came out, you guys, and another
So good.
thing
That
I
was a
want
good one.
can I
Good
just
movie.
say, another thing y'all don't know about Babu is he is a movie killer. Like he watches like the same movies like over and over and
Oh wow.
over, to the
Which
point where like I have,
one?
oh, which one? So you want to know which one? I was having dreams about what was it? get your ass to Mars, get your ass to Mars. Oh,
Oh,
my
Total
God.
Recall.
He used to-
Classic.
Total Recall.
Schwarzenegger, come on.
He used to play that, and then Goodfellas.
Oh wow, nice.
Back to the Future, and then when the New Edition movie came out, it was we recorded in our DVR, and we literally that was just on all day. It was
Ladies,
cool.
don't we all love Roadhouse? Roadhouse, come on.
And Roadhouse. Oh my
Swayze,
God, no.
at its
no,
prime. Come on.
no.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
Some
The
there-
funny thing is like that something like that'll come on and Maricel gets so irritated. I'm like, have you ever seen Roadhouse? She'll get
Yeah,
so
he'll
mad.
always do that. So it'll be like a movie that we've watched like 20 million times, and then like out of the blue, when he puts it on the TV, I'm like, oh my God, not this again. He's like, oh, it's so good. Have you seen it? And I'm just like, but yeah, he will literally like watch a movie so many times over and over again. But yeah, and then he's like a biggest New Edition fan ever. Like sometimes he'd be like,
That's
man,
so cool.
can you believe what happened to Ralph? Like how did he feel when Bobby Brown like did it? And he married like Whitney Houston, you know? So like that's like some of our conversations. We're like, yeah, we'll like talk
Oh
about
my
how did these people feel, and like that's how nerdy we get, you know.
Yeah,
But now
Ralph
I'm
got
like,
did wrong. Ralph got did wrong. Ralph got did wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Babs. So now questions on you. What's something about
Okay.
Maricel that we would be surprised to know?
That she is really a big old softie. I think a lot of people think like, Maricel, like she said earlier, is like intimidating or sometimes maybe hard to approach, but Maricel is just really one of the most kindest, sweetest, generous people I know. And but
shy.
she's always on her game. She's always just trying to be professional and always set that high standard for the rest of the team. And but yeah, deep down she's like really sweet.
Oh, that's great. I
Aw.
love
That's
the
awesome.
chemistry, whether you guys are in business mode, whether family mode, whether it's just you guys in the car listening to the music.
Your New Edition.
That's just balance. And it's so appreciative to hear you guys' feedback and how you guys do life. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate you guys tuning into your guys' life, and for our
You guys are
viewers
an
out
inspiration
there,
for sure.
Yes.
pleasant. So definitely we appreciate you guys.
No, you know what though? I really just want to, thank you guys. I'm like Maricel's biggest fan, and this is more about her than it is about me. And she's always so used to playing the background and being in the shadows. But appreciate you guys shining a light on what Maricel does. A lot of even our students and people who come into the school don't even really realize how important she is to what we do over there. And she's really done a lot to help our business get to where it's at. And I'm always inspired by her, and I think that's the biggest thing too. Is I'm really blessed to have a partner that challenges me and keeps me on my toes. She really inspires me to. It's almost competitive. Sometimes I'm like, I have to slow us down because I'm like, are we on the same team? Sometimes because sometimes we're really trying to like just,
So
just out-
true. We're
out-
both really
just outdo each
competitive.
other. Like I'm looking at her space over there, and I'm like, damn, that shit's nicer than the school. Like,
Where'd
can you
you
save some
get
of that mojo
that?
for our school? Can our school? I'm just kidding. No, but I'm really
No,
super
it's
proud of
fine.
her. Ladies of Sound is that shit, and yeah, and she's just become a real friend of the DJ community here in Los Angeles, and I'm really excited that you guys shine the light on her. Appreciate you guys, DJwivesLV. Thank you guys.
Lady.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thanks for coming
Thank
on. I
you
know you
so
guys
much.
you guys are clearly busy. So
Yes,
thank
we
you.
Yes.
enough of your time, and we still want to hear some tunes by
Let's
Yeah.
we definitely have to tune in. So everybody who's out there, continue on, because we're gonna get a little snip Babu and what he does.
Thanks, Babs. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys. Appreciate you
you.
guys.
Thank you,
We appreciate
Maricel.
you
Thank
guys.
you, Maricel.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
guys. Don't mind
Chat.
me. I'm just gonna be cleaning up while he's DJing, but listening to it out loud.
All right.
Yeah.
But
Thanks,
before
DJ
we do,
Wise.
we want to mention who is our actual winner before we go on to take over. Do you want to?
Yeah.
I don't think we had a winner. They
Oh.
didn't say the answer.
All right then.
We'll definitely do a replay and make sure we catch the winner. But we
Yeah.
appreciate you guys tuning in.
Oh, we'll see.
Yes, we'll see.
by the time it's done. All right.
You want to do the quote?
Oh yeah, that's right. Go
Say
ahead.
the quote. I always forget the quote.
I know, I forget.
So, in honor of International Dance Day, our quote is, "Dance is music made visible," by George
Oh,
Balanchine, American ballet choreographer.
Love it.
Great
thank you,
quote.
Jinky.
Yes.
Yeah.
So appropriate for today's show.
It
Definitely.
is.
And Babs is gonna make music visible
Some
now.
noise.
Music. Music is life. Let's go.
All right.
You're on.
DJ Wise. DJ Wise.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
Chat.
so much.
Thank you.
Get down with me, chat. You already know what it is. Melvin emojis. Now.
Show, 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 show.